So again, going back to your story, that's what I loved, where it sounds like you've overcome some stuff. So give us some examples, bro, stuff that, again, that you were able to go through, overcome. And when you did that, that just helped build your confidence and your faith in God.
Man, you just dropped so many different parts where I wanted to chime in and throw in the nugget.
Bring it in, bring it in. Hey, this is why I'm going long content with this, bro. Seriously, because I know my skill set is more like this. When we're having a conversation, stuff just drops. So that way, I can again, we schedule 2 hours. I don't know if we'll go that long, but I don't want to be rushed. So like again, jump in where you need to say stuff because not only that, then I want to cut this stuff up into shorts and like little 3-minute videos. We'll post the big one up there, the big long one. But yeah, go in, bro. Jump in. What you got?
No, yeah, there's really two things. And when you were speaking, first of all, you mentioned when you spoke at, my brokerage and talked about some of your thoughts not being yours and, all of those things. And there is something that you spoke that even to this day I practice and has stood out to me. And that was the idea of like a bouncer in your mind.
Mental bouncer.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, a mental bouncer, like when if anybody has gone out or even go to certain restaurants, right? Like you have a security guy or a bouncer who would check your purse, your wallet, whatever, and having that same person there for your thoughts. And man, I can't tell you how many times I go back to that when I notice like certain thoughts start to creep in that I know it's like, yeah, that's rubbish. Like that's not of God or like whatever the case may be. And it's like, hey, like kick him out,
That's
man.
right.
He
That's
got to
right.
go. He can't get in. He can't get in. And it's powerful
Yeah.
because then you start to realize, like you said, how much control you have over what you allow yourself to process in those thoughts.
Mhm.
Because you can't control necessarily the thoughts that do come in, but you
Correct.
can control what you process and what you believe and what you allow yourself to internalize. And I
Yes.
think when you realize that control, going back to what you said of being able to speak to your thoughts,
Hmm.
it's super, super powerful and
Game
important.
changer, bro.
Yeah, that was something huge that I definitely held on to and have been practicing since that day that we met. Um, Man, there was another thing that you were saying when you were talking about the stuff that people have to go through in life,
Mhm.
and it's actually super unique. When I was in church yesterday, the pastor talked about our life has been mapped out before. Like God already knows the beginning to the end of our life, right? And he was saying how God may actually allow you he has things that are designed for you to go through for you to become who you need to become.
Yes.
So
Character test.
the things that you actually have going through are ordained and designed specifically for you.
Hang
So
on, bro. Pause with that thought. That's why, let me just intersect.
yeah,
That's why God said, John, people are praying to avoid what you're talking about when they need to go through it. Because, bro, that's part of it, right? So, anyways, that's why I just wanted to interject. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's
yeah.
how they're going to get better to go through it, but they're praying to avoid it.
Yep, you have to go through it. You have to go
Yeah.
through it. But that's so powerful because it really, really refines the point. Like God will not give you more than you can handle because that thing that you're going through is designed for you. Like
Yeah.
there's a reason that John had to go through the things that John went through. There's a reason that Kenny had to go through the things that Kenny went through. And
Yep.
everybody's hurt and everybody's pain or struggle or whatever it may be is not necessarily balanced from an outside lens or outside perspective, but it's kind of equally measured within ourselves for what we're going through and how God wants to utilize it to, move us into the next phase. And sometimes that's like, hey, you got to go through this because you need to focus on me more. Like you're tripping, you're way out your way. You need to focus on me. Or sometimes it's like, hey, you got some weaknesses. We need to build this up. Bam, we're about to put this on you, and you're gonna get through it. And then you're gonna look back and be like, oh,
Well,
okay,
see, Kenny, and that's why, like I was telling you guys in class, right? What you believe dictates what you do. So
facts.
if someone is believing that all this crap and terrible things is happening to them because they're either playing the victim card, God's against them, or whatever, if they're believing that, they're going to act that way.
Right,
As
right, right.
opposed to you getting the knowledge, right, that you got, like, no, man, this is a character test. Like, this is going to make me better. If you believe that, believe me, you're going to face those situations way different, man. So that's why, like, I was teaching you guys on strongholds that day, what you believe is going to dictate what you do. Because if you believe this is a negative thing and like God's out to get you or the devil, whoever, like you're going to respond a certain way. But like you said, if you have that perspective, like you do, like, oh, this is making me better. Okay, then you know what? That's going to help me get through this. And then that other verse that says, in our weakness, he is made strong.
Mm,
Bro, that's where we pull on his strength to get through again, through the thing. So
mm.
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it's just once you start seeing how this is, you're like, okay, like God isn't against me. He's for me.
It's with you.
Hmm.
With you. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil.
Yep.
He's with me. Rod and the staff comfort me. So yeah, everything that you're saying, it's actually beautiful when you're able to really absorb this perspective and knowing that, like, hey, the bad things that we perceive may actually not be bad, you know? And God has the ability to give us if you do lose things, we can recover all and then some and continue to grow. Um, so yeah, it's super cool stuff.